lists. The Oakland Zoo is committed to the preservation of rare and endangered species. Listed here are 9 species that can be found at the zoo and their status in the wild. The American bison. 2 races of bison are recognized: plains buffalo and wood buffalo of Canada. Their number was reduced to 750 in 1890. They were then protected and now number about 80,000. Bison live only in parks and reserves. Hamadryas baboon. Still relatively common in the Ethiopian highlands, the Hamadryas baboon has been exterminated in Egypt and reduced in numbers in other areas. Much of its former range has been brought under cultivation, leading to conflicts with people. It is listed as rare by the IUCN. Ocelot. Ocelots are still in demand by the fur industries in Europe and Asia. Ocelots have been on the protected list since 1973 in Peru and Colombia, but many neighboring Latin American countries allow hunting and commerce in the pelts. African elephant. African elephants are endangered because of loss of habitat and because of poaching for ivory. Since their protection by the CITES several years ago, populations have increased. But as elephants are losing their fear of humans, they are venturing into farmland and have become a problem for locals. Each year when the CITES meets, there is pressure to downlist elephants and allow trade again. Chimpanzee. Chimpanzee populations have been reduced and fragmented by growing populations of people moving into their habitats to establish farms. In addition to this, they are hunted by people for food or to protect crops, or are exported commercially to supply animals for laboratory research and the entertainment trade. Yak. The wild yak is classified as endangered by the IUCN in 1974 and the USDI. Although officially protected in China, uncontrolled hunting has caused populations to decline drastically. Numbers were estimated to be only a few hundred in 1987. Bengal tiger. Superstition has surrounded tigers for centuries. Necklets of claws are thought to protect a child from the evil eye. Whiskers have been considered either a dreadful poison in Malaysia, a powerful aphrodisiac in Indonesia, or an aid to childbirth in India and Pakistan. And the bones, fat, liver, and penis are prized as aphrodisiacs or medicines. It is estimated that some 4,000 tigers yet survive. White-handed gibbon. Gibbons are absolutely dependent upon old-growth tropical rainforests. While still common, white-handed gibbons retain only 10% of their original habitat in protected reserves. In 1987, the IUCN estimated that there were about 79,000 white-handed gibbons. Sun bear. In Thailand, the primary threat is habitat destruction, especially logging and the pet trade. By law, residents are allowed to keep 2 of any species as pets, except for those on the brink of extinction. Elsewhere, the greatest threat is due to poaching for meat and traditional medicinal use of organs. primarily in China, Taiwan, Japan, and South Korea, the greatest consumers of sun bears. Zoo map. You are now facing east.
These elephants look so wrinkled. Are they old? No, they're still young, but they may live to the ripe old age of 70. Look again at those wrinkles, and now look at the back of your thumb. You have elephant skin, too. Imagine how hard it would be to bend your thumb if you didn't have those stretchy wrinkles. An elephant would hardly be able to move if it didn't have wrinkles in its thick skin. Scratch your head. What do you use? What does an elephant use? Its trunk. Pick up a little leaf from the ground. What do you use? An elephant uses the tips on its trunk. Wipe your eye. What do you use? An elephant uses a fold of its trunk. Pretend you are drinking water. What do you use? A glass in your hand. An elephant uses its trunk to squirt water right into its mouth. Now hug a friend. What do you use? An elephant uses its trunk. A trunk is a wonderful thing.
You are now facing east. You are now facing north. You are now facing west. You are now facing south. You are now facing south. You are now facing east. You are now facing west. You are now facing south. You are now facing south. You are now facing north. You are now facing west. You are now facing south. You are now facing south. You are now facing east. Sorry, but I'm afraid you can't do that. You are now facing south. You are now facing south. You are now facing south. You are now facing east. You are now facing east. You are now facing north. You are now facing west. You are now facing west. You are now facing south. You are now facing south. You are now facing west. You are now facing north. You are now facing west. You are now facing west. Zoo map. Main menu. Thank you for coming to the Oakland Zoo, and please come again.